Hello guys, it's James here from Inside United and welcome here to today's video. Today we've received some breaking news that Louis Van Gaal has been sacked as Manchester United manager. It doesn't come as any surprise at all. It was the worst kept secret in football. We all knew that at some point within the next month Louis Van Gaal was going to go and Mourinho was likely to come in. We just didn't know exactly when the actual date was. So yeah, we have now received confirmation that Van Gaal has been sacked. It's probably likely we'll see Mourinho announced probably within the next week or so. But yeah, it doesn't come up at any surprise that Louis Van Gaal has been sacked after a 2-year tenure at Old Trafford. I believe overall it's the right decision. Now throughout the year I've always said we'll make a judgment at the end of the season. Even though we've won the FA Cup, I still don't think he's achieved as well as we thought he would have done over the 2 years. First of all, not finishing in the top 4 and gaining Champions League qualification for a team like Manchester United isn't good enough. Our pedigree, our expectation is far better than that. And even when we're in it, because we were in it this season, see we didn't qualify for it for next season, but even when we were in it, we were knocked out in the group, and it was a favourable group. We had Wolfsburg, Moscow and PSV. We should have got through that group. We should have won the group, and we couldn't get through it. And I think that was just not good enough for Van Gaal. So not to qualify for the Champions League weren't good enough, but to go out in the group stage of this year's Champions League with the group we had is also not acceptable. For me though, the main reason why I think Louis Van Gaal deserves to go and has gone is because the football hasn't been exciting enough. It's not been enjoyable. Even though I am always excited and I enjoy watching Manchester United play. When I am watching it, I actually find it boring. I find it lacklustre. There's not enough going on. Too much sideways, backwards passing. The number of 0-0s we've seen this season is awful. The number of 1-0 wins when we played poor, or even the 1-0 defeats, has just not been good enough. And the performances have been unacceptable. They've been poor and they've been boring. We've seen the fewest goals scored at home in the league. We've scored the fewest goals ever Manchester United have ever recorded in the season, and we haven't seen enough attacking football. It's just not been good enough. Not enough attacking football. We seem to be winning games 1-0 by having one shot and having like 3 shots on target per game, and it's just not good enough. And it's just we need to be doing more. Let me just find something quickly here. I'll try to find some table. I'll save it to the other day. It just showed why Van Gaal has not been living up to his record. We scored 46 goals this season in the Premier League. That's the 11th out of the 20 teams in the Premier League. That would have finished 11th. The total shots was the 16th. We finished 16th in terms of total shots. So we had the 4th lowest amount of shots. 15th in terms of shots and target, and in chances created we would have been relegated. So if the table was done on chances created, Manchester United would have been relegated. It's just a way that just shows, but it's not been a good enough season for me. And with the money spent, 300 million over 2 seasons around that, I haven't seen a real significant improvement, if any improvement, from the Moyes era. Where we finished 7th. Okay, yes, 7th to 4th to 5th, but in the Moyes season, more teams were inconsistent. You had the top 3 of City, Liverpool and Chelsea. You didn't really know who was going to win the title even with like 5 games to go. With Leicester winning the table, I know they did well, but it just signifies that it's not been a good enough season. That we've had an awful season, and City have still managed to get we still managed to get the same amount of points as Man City. So it's not been good enough, and just winning an FA Cup isn't going to save him, because I don't think that was good enough either. His treatment as well of the players hasn't been good enough. Adnan Yazai the other day at Norwich, when he told him to come on, and then told him when he came in, he was probably our best player under the Moyes season, our most promising player, the one who really broke through the ranks. Van Gaal absolutely demolished him. He's not giving him a chance, and I feel sorry for him. Same goes to Memphis. Signed him. He's done well on times, but he still hasn't found his way back into this place, and it's just like Van Gaal doesn't like him. Di Maria as well, he had a bit of a bad patch, and then straight away he was on the bench and he never got his opportunity, and he went. Herrera as well, I think he's a quality player, but yeah, every game he seems to be finding himself on the bench. I also think some of his tactics are delusional, like the long ball up to Fellaini or playing Ashley Young up front. I mean, in the FA Cup final for the second half was not good enough. He hasn't lived up to his expectations. You know, we all thought he would do better than what he has. You know, he came third in the Brazil World Cup in 2014 with what was a very average Netherlands side, and we all thought he was going to come here and he was going to do really well, but he hasn't. You know, and that's been another disappointing thing. I really wanted him to do well, but he hasn't done that. He hasn't showed any passion either. You know, we just see him every single game. He's just sitting on his chair every single game. There's no passion. There's no fight. You know. The only really time we saw him come off his chair was when we won the FA Cup final the other day. You know, he just doesn't get, and he hasn't shown enough passion, and you know that's really disappointing. But I've just given loads of negatives, but there have been some positives too. Like how he did bring in some world-class players. Fine striker, even though if he's past it, he's still brought into the club. Di Maria, another one. He's also brought in players with potential, like Anthony Martial, who I think is a quality guy. He has also given youth the chance. Look at Rashford's breakthrough to the team. Look at Forsu Mensah. Look at Varela. Look at you know, all those youngsters like Lingard. And, you know, there's so many. The list goes on and on. Who's given the chance to. And there's also his record against the good sides are all good, but he has gone, and he does leave with a trophy. I'm a bit disappointed the way Manchester United have done it. You know, he won the trophy, the FA Cup 2 days ago, and already he's been sacked. And did you feel a bit sorry for him the way United have done it? But we better start preparing for next season, and yeah, it's better to start earlier than later. It looks like it's going to be Mourinho. He's not been confirmed yet, so I'm not going to talk about Mourinho now. Obviously, we'll see if that is confirmed. And yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.